Now let's talk about something else that's really important within the Democratic primary that isn't really being discussed. It's all about Bernie versus Hillary. How would Bernie do versus hypothetical Republican nominees? How would Hillary do versus hypothetical Republican nominees? Who's more progressive? Who's more liberal? Who's more conservative, moderate, whatever? Yes, Bernie Sanders is clearly more progressive. Yes, Hillary Clinton has more history with the power brokers in Washington. But the reality is, and this isn't being discussed very much, I don't want to put a damper on the party here, Lewis, but there's a reality that isn't getting much attention, and it should, which is that with a Republican Congress and a mostly divided Senate, maybe a slightly Democratic Senate, maybe slightly Republican Senate, neither Hillary Clinton nor Bernie Sanders are going to get that much done. There's a recent article that friend of the show, Bill Scher, sent to me, which shows that House Democrats are targeting 19 specific House seats for the 2016 election. Democrats need to net a gain of 30 seats in order to take over control of the House. It's essentially not even in the picture, Lewis, that Democrats might control the House of Representatives. Another 4 years or 8 years of Republican obstructionism under either Bernie or Hillary is going to be basically the type of gridlock we've seen under President Obama, making some changes via executive action, and Democrats continuing to have no real plan for getting control of Congress back. There's a really good article about this in the Jewish Forward that there is no doubt that the Democratic conversation is much more sophisticated at the presidential level than the Republican conversation, right? Democratic debates, as we've talked about, are mostly about policy ideas, substance, policy differences. The Republican debates are mostly insults, gotchas, meaningless platitudes of no significance whatsoever, and speech malfunctions where one candidate repeats the same thing over and over again. But at the local level, at the municipality level, at the city council and state rep and state senator level, I've been saying for a long time, Republicans are winning the local politics game. And this way they are setting up from the ground up, from the PTAs and city councils up. They are way stronger, and they continue to wield huge power, even with 8 years now of a Democratic president. And we have to talk about this, Lewis. I get it. Bernie Sanders is way more progressive than Hillary. But with no control over the House of Representatives, they will both be significantly limited in how I'm not going to say it doesn't matter how progressive they are, but the most progressive things they would be able to do would be really limited to what they can achieve by executive action for the most part.
That's true. But does that mean that we have to factor that into our voting? I don't think so.
We don't. No.
But
if whoever is in there is going to be limited in what they can do, that's not a reason to say,
Right.
hey, I'm more progressive, I'll vote for the more moderate Hillary anyway. Absolutely not. My point is, it's not being discussed, and it looks like the Democrats have already conceded the House of Representatives.
yeah. So yeah, it's that's a reality. Whatever. But maybe having someone like Bernie in office will change the way people think about what's happening at the local level.
It might.
And so, I mean, to me, it can only be a good thing.
And the other issue is this all comes down to turnout. Now, because of how districts have been gerrymandered, yes, Democrats need more than 50% of the vote in House races to control 50% of the seats. That's because of gerrymandering. The Republicans have had really opportune moments for gerrymandering recently because of when the census has been done relative to when districts are drawn and who's in power. But it's still all about turnout. And if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, will inspire a higher level of turnout. That is the one hope to progressivize the House of Representatives, because we know when turnout is higher, the more progressive candidates tend to win. Let's think about this. Let's not forget this as progressives as we go forward through this Democratic primary process. Let's take a break. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Lewis is on Twitter at @LewisMotamedy. The online news world is getting pretty cluttered with lots of nonsense. There's the so-called news sites that rewrite news articles, and then there's the websites we all know that we just can't trust. So lately, I've been reading SmashPipe, which is an online magazine whose goal is to surprise, amuse, and tell readers things they don't already know on a wide range of topics in current events and culture. SmashPipe is less interested in trending topics than in what's actually going on. And SmashPipe has no ads whatsoever other than the reader-generated classified ad section, and they never will. SmashPipe is what happens when you, on a bad day, stub your toe on the miseries and mysteries of life. Check it out at